Welcome to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle, where professionals in the field inform, educate and inspire the community to be healthier and have a balanced lifestyle. Our first guest today is journalist and meditation teacher Beatriz Goyoaga, and she will be talking to us about the secrets of breath to improve your health. Welcome, Beatriz.
Jai Gurudev, thank you.
So can you tell us what's the relation between the breath and our health?
The breath is probably the most important thing of our life. First thing you did when you were born is breathe in. The last thing you will do when you die is breathe out. It goes with us lifelong, and we ignore the amount of secrets and the amount of benefits health has. It's the cheapest medicine of the market, and it has no side effects, and you can do it at home. You don't even need to go across the road to buy medicine. At home with your hair rollers on, in your pajamas. So fantastic to discover. I discovered this 26 years ago. Discovered the benefits of breath. I accompanied my husband to a big meeting in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where I reside now. And we are helping out to anybody who would like to become a better person, a happier person through breath and meditation.
So you say a better person and a happier person, and we know we have a lot of mental health issues at the moment. So how does it help? How does working with the breath help with mental health?
I want to underline that it is not only in Australia or Melbourne. We are having issues all over the world. It's a very difficult time. When I went to the Antarctic, and there's 2 bases in the Antarctic that have children. I was a month and a half in the icebreaker, on the icebreaker. And I saw children going to school harnessed like the dogs, and with a hook the mother would put them into an iron rod, and the children walked all the way to the school tied to this iron rod. And then when they came out, the teacher would, hook them again, and like that, because the winds were so blowing 140 kilometers an hour. And I was crawling, on the floor. So strong winds. Now, the winds, the mental winds are blowing, whether you are in Madrid, in Perth, Melbourne or Sydney. They are blowing so strongly. We have to be well prepared, well tied. We have something to help these children with, and that is through breath. And that goes with the exams beautifully. In Harvard, in Yale, in the most prestigious universities of the world, they are taking these breath workshops to improve focus, and we will go through benefits if we have the time, because the benefits are very many. So the wealth of the health is incredible.
I'd love to hear some more benefits. Please share.
Well, we could divide them in 3. We can say emotional, intellectual and physical. At the level of the body, the sugar level remains like this even after maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks of doing the breathwork practices. And this I'm telling you, results done in hospitals and in scientific researches, not my own. The blood pressure is also regulated. Anything related to stress, like ulcer of the intestine, of the hiatus, or sleepless nights, tremendous to do away with the sleepless nights, to sleep better. The falling of your hair, psoriasis, scratching, all of these derivated from stress. And then at the level of the hypothalamus, which is the main nervous along the nervous system, in charge of the blinking of the eyes, the beating of the heart, the orgasms, the filter of the liver, anything which is automatic. When you're stressed, the vagus nerve is contracted and nothing works correct. When you do this Sudarshan, the nervous system, the vagus nerve, expands to its normality, and the NKs, the natural killers for cancer patients, is increased like putting ink into the water like this. So for anybody who is undergoing cancer, fantastic to take the Sudarshan Kriya. Now, okay, this is bodily. At the level of emotions, you become softer, you become more patient, you become more understanding to what your children need, to what your partner needs, and you become a nicer person to be with because you are softer, more sweet, more gentle, increase your patience. And when you are after your meditation and breath work, you feel so relaxed that you have more patience, poor thing, like that. And the last one, we've done body and the mind, intellectual. More focus, more alert, more productivity, and more better decisions. Shall I go this way or shall I go this other way? It is more clear, where should I go? Messi, the number one football player of the world, his mind is brilliant. And many of these men are taking breath work and meditation.
What for our viewers at home, we're all breathing all the time. So what do they need to do? Can they do anything today, or do they have to go somewhere and learn these techniques?
I have transmitted this to 7,000 policemen, and I have transmitted this to 1,800 prison inmates, women and men, and 800 prison guards. Prison life is not easy. It's like today home life is also not easy. So the benefits cannot be transmitted online. Otherwise, it would be something wishy-washy. It's like me sending you a kiss over the WhatsApp. You don't get it. But when somebody hugs you and kisses you, oh, how beautiful. So like this, you have to do it. Everybody who is seeking mental health and body health, they should find out what is behind your breath. A lot of secrets.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. If you would like to learn more about secrets of breath and Beatriz Goyoaga, you can visit her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll be back with another interesting guest and another interesting topic.
Stay tuned. After the break, Jacqui Grant, an NDIS business consultant and empowerment coach, will be discussing the 3 fundamentals for a healthy working environment for neurodiverse people. Welcome back. Our second guest today is Jacqui Grant. She's an NDIS business consultant and empowerment coach. And the topic we'll be discussing today is the 3 fundamentals for a healthy workplace environment for neurodiverse people. Welcome, Jacqui.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Jacqui, please list for us the 3 fundamentals for a healthy workplace environment for neurodiverse people.
In the workplace, so many people who are neurodiverse or have neurodivergent traits, it comes with a lot of challenges. So one of the first things is that they are understood, like really understood for what they require as an individual. Number 2 is that the work environment is willing and able to support them. So for example, for some people, feeling overstimulated. It can be such a challenge with too many lights, too much noise. It can be quite distracting. For some people, dyslexia is a problem, but they can still do their job. They just require maybe voice to text to help them as a spell check, little things like that. As that continues to be evolving, so some days traits are really good, like for example, hyper-focused, got the job done. Other days, nope, can't remember what those instructions were 5 minutes ago. Got part of it, but not all of it. So as a workplace creates those changes for the person, and they don't have to be expensive, the person can feel more comfortable and engaging in their job, and importantly, enjoy their job, which helps them to mask less, helps them to increase their energy and be a big part of the team. And the third thing is that they are having some allowances for those times when they're just not coping. For example, if they're triggered with what is commonly known as a meltdown. So it could just be going into overwhelm and needing to be able to walk away going to a quiet place, being able to get up and leave their workstation to have that time out. Could be a walk around the park, it could be a walk outside, it could simply just taking some time away from everybody to feel calm, centered and grounded.
How does understanding the individual help?
So when it comes to being neurodiverse, everybody's unique, just as everybody's unique that's neurotypical. In the workplace though, if you understand each individual's requirements who are neurodiverse, and we focus on that more because it can be very overwhelming and confronting for the person who has neurodivergent traits. So when you understand as an employee, as well as the manager, as well as the co-worker, that your person that you work with has these uniqueness, these traits that they may need to follow. For example, for some people who have both ASD or on the autism spectrum and ADHD, some days they like to follow the rules and they understand exactly where everything is. But on other days, ADHD is a bit more at play, so that hyperactivity, that spontaneity, and it's like, no, there's too many steps to go from looking for a file, for example. By understanding that as a manager, you have a staff member that needs to make adaptations as to where to find that file or that information, can make their job so much easier, which in turn makes your job so much easier. So understanding each individual's requirements makes the workplace much better, not just for that individual, but for everyone else. And then as part of that, productivity can go up, more likely that everybody will show up to work because it is an all-inclusive environment, and especially for the person who is neurodivergent. One of the traits that I have as a person who has the diagnosis of ADHD as well as ASD or autism is my hyperfocus. Once I focus on a task, it's done.
If you were neurodiverse in your workplace and hesitant to talk to your manager about your needs, what's some advice you could offer to initiate this conversation with your co-workers and your manager?
Basically, there's a couple of steps with that advice. One is really get to know yourself as an individual. Like, think of your worst day that you may experience in your workplace first and write that down. Like, what is my worst day? If I get overwhelmed, if I get exhausted, am I likely to storm out of the workplace? Like, am I likely to sit in the corner and cry? Am I likely to just, complain to everybody and overshare? Like, what's the worst case that can happen? And then from there, you can say, what do I need to minimize that occurring in my job? So thinking about the job, thinking about the worst case scenario and bringing that together. And then as you bring that together, you can then say to your manager, so I'd start with the manager first and say, I'd just like to have a conversation with you about some of the things that I find challenging in the workplace that I would really like to minimize those challenges to make it so that I can come to work every day, enjoy it and do my best job. And having that positive approach of being the team player and wanting to make it work and knowing your worst case and explaining that the best way you can will make all the difference, because your manager is then potentially seeing it not so much as a challenge, but as something that, I want to work with that person. I want to help them to be part of the team and bring out their strengths, because when we bring out strengths in ourselves and each other, the workplace, for example, is such a better place. And really take your time then to have that conversation with the manager in a space that there's plenty of time. If you need to bring some evidence that helps back up your, with my dyslexia, I found that this works, so an app or something, and having the expectation of being heard, that you open communication around solving the challenge and and having the solution. Now, if you're still having trouble articulating your specific needs, then having a coach that can actually help you articulate that can be a great place. And then for it to ripple out into your co-workers, you then say to your manager, look, can we let people know that, you know, when they're constantly calling me, it's actually quite triggering, or whatever it is, and then seeing how a team approach can happen.
That's such important information. Thanks, Jacqui. If you'd like to know more about the 3 fundamentals for creating a safe working environment for neurodiverse people and Jacqui Grant, please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we have another interesting guest with another interesting topic. Stay tuned. After the break, Sue Williams, Doctor of Quantum Counselling and Clinical Hypnotherapist, will be talking about healing energies across species. Can the same techniques benefit both humans and animals? Welcome back. Our next guest, Sue Williams, is a Doctor of Quantum Counselling and a Clinical Hypnotherapist. And the topic we'll be discussing is healing energies across animals and humans. Welcome, Sue.
Thanks, Megan. It's great to be here.
Sue, could you tell us a little bit more about healing energies?
Yes, this is something that I've become very interested in, and it's been a bit of a logical progression from the other modalities that I've already studied. And it's definitely cross-species because we're all energetic beings. We're all composed of energy, and quantum physics, which I go back to quite often with a lot of my modalities, means that we are all connected energetically. So it's like the air we breathe, we can't see it, but these energy fields are there. And the ones that people are probably most common with are the EMFs, so your electromagnetic fields, which we're supposed to try and avoid, the microwaves in our microwave ovens, radio waves. I mean, we've got our phones are sending out waves, energy waves all the time, so we're surrounded by energy without us even realising. But the great thing about that is that we can incorporate that into healing. We can use different techniques to find out what is wrong with our energy fields, whether they're unbalanced, whether they need support, and then we can use many different ways to support them and get them back into alignment. And if we go back centuries, we look at traditional Chinese medicine, that is based on the meridians, which are the energy lines through our bodies where the qi flows. And of course, they've used acupuncture and acupressure for millennia to be able to heal and correct different problems with humans and animals. And I know even in the racing industry, acupuncture is used a lot with racehorses. And whether you believe it or not, a horse doesn't know any better. And if it makes them improve and improves their health, well.
So can we actually use similar healing energies on animals and humans?
Absolutely. As I said, we're all energetic beings. So the same rules apply to the animals as they do to the humans. And there's an incredible new technology, bioenergetics, that actually uses modern technology to scan the body field of humans. And at this stage, we're horses, dogs and cats, because there is specific software for those 3 species. But it can be expanded to animals that are a similar shape to a horse, say a cow or something similar. It's got the 4 legs and a big body. So we can use it with different animals. But that scans the body field of whatever the being is and finds where it's disrupted, where it needs support, and you view it on your computer. So these traditional ways with the Reiki and acupuncture and similar modalities now is definitely in the 21st century, with it all being able to be viewed on your computer. So it's definitely a great alternative for people who are having physical problems, nagging injuries, it's very good for. And again, if you've got emotions that you need a bit of help with, it'll be something to do with your energy field, and these technologies and these modalities can definitely help. And this bioenergetics field, this new technology is just amazing. And the great thing for us is that it was actually developed by an Australian, I think more than 30 years ago now. His name is Peter Fraser. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but his work is being carried on with other specialists and one particular man who trained with Peter. So it's an ongoing project that they're developing more and more with this technology. But it's really great that it started here in Australia. So many good things have started here in Australia. So we've got a lot to thank Peter Fraser for this particular modality.
That's so interesting, Sue. Do you have any advice for our viewers on their own energy healing journey?
Yes, definitely, because these days we have so many professionals who specialise in these different modalities who can help us. So reach out. If you want to go the traditional route first, acupuncture is just available everywhere. Allopathic doctors very often offer acupuncture as well because they have realised the benefits. Reiki, again, is very widespread. It's getting to be very well known. So definitely look up a professional, because sometimes it's more difficult for us to change our energetic field ourselves. We do need that external help. But yep, turn to the professional and start with ones that you're aware of, like the acupuncture and acupressure. And then if you want to find out more, then move on. Educate yourself, and then it's certainly not going to hurt, and it will help your pets and animals as well.
Thanks, Sue. That's such valuable and interesting information. If you'd like to know more about Sue Williams and the benefits of energy healing for humans and animals, please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And we're going to say bye-bye for today and see you next time. If you'd like to know more about our show, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.